Hey guys, welcome to the 92nd installment of this Scary to Cherry Suzuki Samurai series. This may be the last video I do on this thing, I'm not quite sure yet. I guess it depends on how long it's up for sale, but I'll probably keep tinkering with it until it's gone. But here's a little before and after for you. Please don't dent it. Damn it. I'm gonna pull it in. Well, pretty good storm we had. This is like the third time this week I've had to come out and dry her off. Thanks for watching my little mashup there. I tried to take clips from like the first or second day that I had this thing and then kind of duplicate them, but it turned out how you just saw, so I don't know. I haven't ever tried to do anything like that in editing before, so if it was a little weird, that's probably why. You'd think after 93 episodes I'd be a little better at editing, but not so much. But anyways, yeah, so when I got this thing, I think on the first day I spray painted the brake lens red so I could drive it without getting pulled over, and then I was afraid that the thermostat wasn't opening because these things run so cool. I just was really worried about it, so I went down and, well, first I threw the thermostat in a tub of boiling water, and it was actually opening, but it was like 195 or something, and it needed to be at 180, so I went down and bought a new one, changed that out. And then I just kind of ordered some parts, whatever I thought I would need. Got the top, got the window sill kit, the door handle kit with the crank, the window cranks, the door handles, the little pull handle, stuff like that. A lot of what I did to this thing, was cosmetic, which I got so lucky on the mechanical part of this because almost every single thing I checked was really good. I couldn't believe it when I pulled the valve covers off to adjust the valves, how clean. I mean, it was like you could eat inside there. If you go back in one of the episodes, you'll see it. But this motor had to have been rebuilt recently. And then same thing probably for the transmission. When I had it out, every seam had orange RTV in it, so judging by that and how all the fluids were clean and topped off, I really think somebody rebuilt this thing not that long ago. I wish I had the documentation for it, but anyways, yeah, so mechanically I got very fortunate. Cosmetically though, I did so much of, I mean, this is wrapped, you guys know that, but if this is the first episode you're seeing, all the gray is wrap, and where it was yellow, that was paint. So wrap, I've never done it before. Wrap isn't super hard. Would be a lot easier doing a vehicle like this, where it's got a clear coat and you don't have to do body work to it. But this thing, because it had that old nasty yellow paint, it was kind of peeling off, and I had to sand everything, do filler on some spots, and it was just a lot of extra work. But what I was going to say is, so much of fixing this thing up was just paint and fixing rough spots, and all these black areas here are bed liner in a can from Harbor Freight. It's the Iron Armor brand. On the inside, on the floors, the much thicker, chunkier looking stuff, that is the stuff you get in the 1 gallon can that rolls on. But everything, this, the bumper, this, everything that's black, that's highlighted in black, the hinges, the decals, all that has been shot with that Iron Armor bed liner stuff. And I think it left a really good contrast with this gray, and I'll leave the link for this exact wrap in the description. I'm gonna try to link everything that I used in the description. So if you guys wanted to totally duplicate this, it would be pretty easy just to go down the list and reorder what I did. I ordered for the wrap, I got 25 feet, 25 linear feet, and had I not screwed up at all, that would have been way more than enough. But I kind of wish I would have gotten 30 just because it was my first time doing it. And there was a few spots where I would have rather, you know, been able to like pull it off and redo it a second or third time. This top I think was, I can't find it anymore, but I believe I bought a combo kit with the top and the bow, and they screw you on the bows. I'm telling you right now, don't buy the bow. You can, it's all it is half-inch EMT, which is half-inch conduit, and I would never pay. They're about $90. So I want to say like for $200 and something I got the top and the bow. So I don't think the top was much more than 100 and something. I'll have to try to find it and put it in the description. But like I said, I couldn't find the combo that I bought because I do remember the bow coming with the soft top. And the other thing about it is the first top I installed is not this one. This is the second one. The first one I put in, I had all kinds of issues with the zippers not working, and these buttons breaking, and just all kinds of issues. So I contacted the company. They actually sent me another one, but I didn't change it out right away because I knew that I would be working on this thing for months and getting, you know, dust and stuff from sanding and all kinds of crap all over. So I didn't actually change it out until recently. And for whatever reason, the replacement one went on like a dream. It went on so good. So I don't know. I thought it was a crappy top at first. But the second one, I would gladly order another one if it came like how the second one came. So definitely recommend that, but kind of taking your chances. I guess you're taking your chances with anything that's not OEM, you know, the stuff that comes out of India. Another thing I bought was it's the stock on the steering wheel, and I can't think of the name of it right now. Brian, do you remember?
No, I don't.
Dang it. I'll type it in. It's called the... There you have it. Anyway, changing that out. I actually got the headlights and the turn signals and all that stuff working like the first or second day, but I had already ordered it. So, but it's held up, still works. As far as like commonly used tools, if you're gonna restore a Samurai, I'd say the number one most used tool that I had was rags, towels. I just washed these, and then I still have a whole pile of, because I was doing a lot of cleaning on the underside. And then I've bought those red rags before, and I don't like them at all. I really like these microfiber ones. That I got those at Costco. I think you can get 36 of them for like 15 or 16 bucks. And then another thing that you will use a lot of, and you'll probably need to buy more and more, is number 3 Phillips bits. The standard size is number 2. That's, you know, what everybody's used to, but number 3 is a little fatter, and come on, almost all of the Phillips screws on a Samurai are those, and they get rusted in there and they snap off. So I've tried a bunch of Milwaukee ones. Definitely get the impact rated ones. I've had better luck, it seems like, with the DeWalt's than the Milwaukee's, but it's just one of those things. You will go through quite a few of them, so get you a bunch of them. And you'll also want to get a lot of these wire wheels. I just get the cheapy ones. I'm not sure if the really good ones hold up better, because I've never paid the money for the good ones, but to me they're kind of more like expendable. So yeah, I've probably gone through like 3 of the multi-packs of these at least. So get a bunch of those for cleaning and getting rid of rust and stuff. And then if you're anything like me and you're going to be, I don't know what climate you're working in, but if you're going to be working at night, definitely, well, even if it's in the daytime and you're in the shade, you definitely want to get a work light. This is one that I bought at Harbor Freight a while back, made by Braun, and I had this the last couple years at my old job, and I used it. I knew a guy that actually carried one of these in his tool pouch, and he didn't break it, so I don't think they make this exact one anymore. Unfortunately, but they do have the newer version of this, and yeah, this has held up really well, so highly recommend. And then it comes with a 18650 battery, which I have other 18650 batteries, so for me it's real easy because I always have some of those charged up. I just switch them out, but the batteries do actually, or the light lasts quite a while. I never used the battery that came with it, so I'm not sure how long it lasts, but it drastically outlasts like any of those headband lamps or anything like that. So you can see how nasty mine is from all the use, but yeah, definitely get you a good work light. Ah, sweet. Bruce Willis from Die Hard is running for state senate. We still don't have our air conditioning fixed. It's 93 degrees in our kitchen. It was 99 in here the other day, trying to cook dinner. Alright guys, so I was able to find the combo soft top plus bow kit that I bought. It's $213.90. But honestly, what I would do right here, you can get a stick of 1/2-inch conduit for like $6, and the couplers are, I don't know, like 50 cents each, $14 for 25 of them. So I would do this, buy this one, that's the soft top only, for $132, and then go spend you like $10 on the stick of conduit or two and the couple of the couplers, and just make your own bow. Honestly, if you don't feel like tracking down the parts and stuff, just buy the kit like I did for $214 and be done with it. Alright guys, I'm going to kind of go through what I bought on eBay. This window door trim kit was $62.48, and we were just talking about it, but the soft top with the bow was $226.95, and I'm not giving you that price, the $213.90. I'm giving you the order total, which includes tax, I guess, and shipping or whatever. So okay, so the clutch was $73.21, pretty cheap. $13.91 for the cap and rotor. Accelerator cable, $20.16. The choke cable, $8.90. $58.34 for the Toyota 3K carburetor. That was from my dad. That went on the Weber. Vacuum advance was $51.98. The steering damper was $37.24. The brake lamps were $15.33. That doesn't count because it went on the Weber. That's an alarm. Doesn't count. That was for the transfer case, the little bearing race thing, $16.87. The wrap, they screwed me on eBay, so I ended up getting it through Amazon from the same supplier, and it ended up being like $225 out the door. It was going to be $275 plus tax through eBay, so it was cheaper through Amazon. The deck was $20.15, which probably makes it the cheapest deck in the history of decks. The little rubber plugs that go in the holes in the floor, $26.51. The little ducting vents for the heater, $30.66. The housing for the head unit, $41.38. My backup phone. The window regulators were $66.62. $23.33 for the steering knuckle seals. Combo switch was $28.64. That is really hard to see, but that's the HVAC deal where you slide it over for vent and hot and cold and all that. $16.98. The ashtray was $9.82. And then this was a good deal, $22.63. I got the coolant overflow tank and the windshield washer tank, both of those for $22.63. So that makes a grand total of $1,097.09. So we'll call it $1,100. And then I'm gonna get out the receipts for all the stuff that I bought locally, like the spray paint and all that kind of jazz, and we'll talk about it. Alright, this is a little scary. These are all the Advanced Auto Parts receipts. Those are all Harbor Freight, Lowe's, O'Reilly, Napa, a Walmart one for brake clean. These are Ace Hardware, and these are all Home Depot. So let me total those up. But yeah, that's a little scary, especially this stack right here, because some of those are over 100. Okay, I knew I was gonna want to throw up a little bit. I went through everything. And here's how it broke down. Advance Auto, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Napa, O'Reilly, Walmart. $1549.89. Didn't include the like $50 for registration and $20 here and another however much to go through emissions 3 times. Alright guys, so that was probably a kind of a shocking number for just random stuff that I bought locally, but anyways, let me kind of go through a couple of these. The soft top, I already told you. That one's kind of iffy whether or not I would recommend it, because the first one was garbage. It was terrible to put on, but the second one that they sent me went on like a dream. So I don't really know whether or not I would recommend it. I don't know if the first one was just like a bad one, or if I lucked out and got a really good one on the second one. But I would definitely recommend it if it comes like that. The rubber that goes around the door and windows, I thought was pretty decent. There was one spot where, like, going around the door, like right this corner, ended up being like over here, but it still worked out. So the only thing I do notice is I get a little bit of water leaking in where the top wraps around the bar, and I don't know how you would get around that, because you're creating a gap when you wrap that Velcro around there. So I don't know of any rubber in the world that would actually seal that. But things I wasted money on, I don't think I really needed the clutch. You could say that because of those little wear marks, yeah, it needed to be replaced, but if I had it to do over again, I would not have done the clutch. I probably wouldn't have done the carburetor. That kind of turned into a thing where I was kind of doing it just to test it, and I was doing it so I could make the video of comparing it and stuff like that. But if I had it to do over, I probably would have just left the Weber in there. And then another thing I wasted money on was the exhaust. When I was initially failing emissions, I thought it was the cat and muffler. I thought if I changed out the cat and muffler that I would pass with flying colors, and that was not the case. Sorry about that. And then to do that, before my buddy came over with his welder, I bought a bunch of clamps, so that was some money on that. And then a lot of that stuff is, you know, the masking tape, all the different grits of sandpaper, the wire wheels, the tons of paint and bed liner and undercoating, and I'll go through and show you guys what I like and what I didn't like about that. What I was kind of talking about here is where this wraps around. That's not really the wraps, or that's not really the rubber's fault here. I mean, this is good rubber, but where it seals up in here, you know, the water kind of this gets wet and it kind of runs in along, because you're creating a gap in that seal with this, and then it kind of like runs down, and I think I had some drip. Yeah, you can see like little drip marks where it came in right there, but that's not really the fault of the rubber, I don't think, because the rubber's doing its job. It's just, I don't know what the solution is there, but anyways, and then I was also going to mention I did like, I need to touch that up. I did like the combo switch, especially for how cheap it was. The only thing with it that I've had an issue with is the hazard lights. So occasionally, and right now they're not wanting to work at all, are they? You shouldn't need your key on, but anyway, that is the one thing that I've had issue with, is the hazard switch. Other than that, the turn signals and windshield wipers and high beam, low beam, all that stuff has been working good, so can't really complain there. Other than that, out of all the stuff I've bought, you know, even though some of it's like cheaper stuff from India or whatnot, I haven't really had any problems with it. I'll let you know if I think of anything else that was problematic that I had ordered on the cheap. But it was pretty fortunate, I guess. Then I kind of gathered up some of the stuff. You wouldn't think that this stuff would end up being $1,500–$1,600, but this isn't even everything. And like when I'm showing you guys this, I probably bought 10 or more cans of this, probably 10 cans of this. This was $100 and something. This is what comes in it. That's 1 gallon. And I still have a little bit of this left. It was enough to do the front section and the rear section. And so for a Samurai, absolutely, it's enough to do the whole thing. When I say that though, I don't, that's just the flooring part. This stuff ended up being my best friend, the Iron Armor. I did try the Herculiner spray-on stuff, didn't care for it as much, and I tried the Rust-Oleum also, didn't care for it too much. But I really do like the Iron Armor stuff. However, I don't like their rust reformer, and I can't believe I accidentally threw every single can of the Rust-Oleum rust reformer I had away, but I don't even have one to show you guys. I guess I chucked them all. But anyway, don't care for the Iron Armor rust reformer, but I do like the Rust-Oleum rust reformer. And I bought quite a few cans of this stuff. It's what I ended up doing, the dash, the seats. If you like the color, it's HVP 111. HVP Hotel Victor Papa 111 charcoal gray. And it matches really well with the wrap that I picked. And really good accent with the truck bed coating, and this stuff side by side looks really good. Anyways, yeah, lots of cans of this. These are like 15 bucks a can. I used it on the doors, the dash, the seats, which I don't recommend doing. I wouldn't, if I had it to do over again, I would not do the seats. So take that with a grain of salt. They're okay now, but it seemed like once a month I was in there doing touch-ups and stuff wherever the natural grain, like wherever the natural cracks of the seat material are. This, I think I only used 1 or 2 cans. I didn't end up going very far with that stuff. I think I ultimately ended up going over what I had done with this with the truck bed coating. This stuff was kind of nice. I used that on the valve covers and like the radiator, stuff like that. The Rust-Oleum barbecue paint, I think that's what I used under the hood, because it says it's good up to 1200 degrees or whatever. And then I used this 1 can. I still have probably a third of a can left. I used it on the header, I used it on the transmission, and I think that's about it. But this stuff worked out pretty good. I went through several of these Loctite navel jelly. This stuff is pink. You hit the rust, well, you get as much of the rust off as you can with a wire wheel or whatever. You hit it with some water, and then you put this on there, let it sit for a while, come back. You're supposed to spray it off with water, but I always end up coming back, spraying it off, and then I hit it with the wire wheel again. I do that process several times, and then would hit it with the rust reformer usually, and then coat it with whatever I was going to do. But and then I use this quite a bit. There's some things, I don't know how I would have gotten certain bolts off and stuff if I didn't have this. if you don't have one of these guys, it's so worth it. Just buy this once, and these things last forever, seems like. But just turn the gas on a little bit, pull the trigger, adjust that, and then you push this down, and then you can let up on the button, and it stays on. So, very handy. And then little things, you know, like under the hood, this stuff you can get at Harbor Freight. This wire loom, real good for hiding your wires and stuff. You guys know I went through lots of crazy glue and baking soda, the rubber gloves. I was getting these in 30 packs, and I had like 80 grit, 200 grit, 400 grit, but these go right on your orbital sander, and they're kind of see-through, if you can see that. They're like a woven kind of material, but they work pretty good. But they're like, I want to say, or maybe there's 60 in a container, but they're like 30 bucks per thing, so those add up quick. This I got at Harbor Freight. I don't remember what grit it is, but it's 120. But this is kind of cool because you just tear off what you need, and when I was doing the roll bar, I was able to pull off enough to kind of like work it back and forth to make quick work of it. I use lots of blaster stuff. Used a lot of brake clean. This stuff from the dollar store, it's called LA's Totally Awesome. It's a pretty good degreaser. And you guys also know I went through a ton of rubbing alcohol. I was getting it in the bigger containers. And you can get the denatured alcohol that comes in a can like this. And it works a little better, but it's like 10 bucks a can. So anyways, gosh, I probably went through several gallons of rubbing alcohol cleaning stuff. This stuff, it worked on certain things. I guess it has its place, but I don't know if I'd really recommend it. If you put in enough elbow grease, you can get it off with a wire wheel or whatever else. It does seem like it works better on certain things. I can't remember if it worked better on metal or plastic, but yeah, for a paint stripper. And then this stuff is just by far my favorite detailer. I freaking love this stuff. It smells so good. And it doesn't seem to leave those little white marks when you, like on my, when I go over the truck bed coating with other cleaners, sometimes it leaves like a whitish color mark. This stuff doesn't, but yeah. Anyways, guys, you can see how this stuff would add up pretty quick. And then also included in that stack of receipts was the exhaust parts, the catalytic converter, the muffler, the tubing, and the clamps, which I had probably $100 in stupid clamps. But yeah, this is what actually costed more than any of the big ticket items, was just all the little consumable things. So, and that's something that a lot of people probably don't budget for, but it ends up being the majority of your expenses. So don't forget about those little things. A few other things I forgot to mention was I did use JB Weld a few times. I just always try to keep this kind of stuff. I have like a bag that I keep epoxies and glues and silicone and liquid electrical tape, things like that. But for the body work, in some spots, I usually try to have both of these. Bondo, which is body filler, and then Bondo Glass, which there's a few different types you can get for this depending on like how big of an area you're trying to fill or whatever. This one says repair small holes up to a ½ an inch. For repair of small holes up to a ½ inch and rust outs on metal, wood, and fiberglass. So this stuff actually has fibers in it, and it's way stronger than the actual Bondo itself. So I try to only use this stuff as like a glazing putty or whatever at the very end. And then you can get a bunch of these Bondo cards for, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them for $5-6 bucks. I think I am going to touch up a few things back here. I got a couple of self-tapper screws that I just ran through from the outside before that never got clipped off, so I need to cut those off flush and then go over them with this bed liner stuff since I still have some left. And just a few little touch up. I think I got a screw. Yeah, there's one right there too. And then I need to find a couple screws. Believe it or not, this little cover thing has never had any screws on it. I put it in there and hasn't been rattling or anything, so but I'll find some of those and then I may need to paint those black or whatnot. So I'm gonna get on that. I think I showed you guys the dash after it was done. It's not perfect, but it's not cracked anymore, so I guess that's better than seeing a black crack right there, so I don't know. Yeah, anyways guys, yeah, you can see the seats. I'm not going to recommend it, but if you did want to change up your seat color to maybe match your dash, for me it worked. I don't know, but I gave you the color. I think it was FVP111 charcoal gray for this, and then for the wrap I'm gonna have the direct link in the description. So yeah, I think it's a good color between the wrap and then the texture with the truck bed coating, and then the interior color turned out really good. Those colors. But yeah, I'm curious if there is anyone out there that's actually gonna like duplicate my color scheme. Let me know if you are. That'd be kind of cool. Well, that's a freaking bummer.
Hi guys. Hi puppy. Oh, you guys thirsty? These poor little guys are just dying. They're so thirsty. Where you guys come from? Where'd you come from? Can you tell me where your house is? You guys don't have any collars on. What you got? Stuff's on you. Are you guys best friends? You're best friends, aren't you? Yes, you are.
I found a couple screws. I just hit them with some of the bed liner stuff. Can't even tell they're there. Seems like that stuff in the can is a lot more shiny than the other stuff. But that'll work. Not. They're gonna carry me away. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last video on the Samurai series. I guess it just depends when I put it up for sale and how quickly someone buys it. And because I'm going to keep finding little things to do here and there. You know me, can't leave it alone. So, but I'm going to be making more videos. I know I got to do one on the Jeep for the air conditioner. Hopefully you guys are subscribed. If you're subscribed, then when I do have another project, I'm hoping to do more Samurais. These things are so fun. But if you're subscribed, then no matter what project I do, you'll get the notification, hopefully. And just want to thank everybody for watching, and the people who have subscribed and commented and helped me out with questions that I've had. You guys are pretty knowledgeable when it comes to these things. But kind of sad. It's like the end of an era. That's kind of one of the reasons I make these videos, is sitting there forever. You know, I can always go back and watch them and remember, even though I gotta sell it, I can still watch the videos. But okay guys, again, I can't thank you enough for watching, and yeah, don't really know what else to say except thank you very much. Alright guys, hug.